Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all time, yes, even better than LeBron James. But if you disagree, then your mind will be changed after hearing how incredible of a defensive player Michael Jordan was. And FYI, I'm not a LeBron hater. He's actually been one of my favorite NBA players since 2013, and still is to this day. But the facts are the facts. MJ's defense is one of the main reasons why he's better all time. Whenever I state that Michael Jordan was a better defender, most people say that's not true because LeBron was more versatile. And let me tell you this, more versatile doesn't mean better. Plus, the whole LeBron James can lock down all positions narrative is just false. Now, could he hold his own against all 5 positions? Of course. But could he consistently guard all 5 positions? No. He could do it in spurts, but never was he matched up with the best players all game long. If you want to know what it truly means to be considered as someone who can lock down all 5 positions, just look at Dennis Rodman. He is still to this day the only player in NBA history who could shut down all 5 positions. During his Detroit days, he was assigned to guard guys like MJ, Larry Bird, and Magic Johnson. Then when he was a Chicago Bull, he had the duties of defending players like Shaquille O'Neal and did a great job on him and any other true center in the NBA. That's the definition of being able to guard all 5 positions. Although stats are in everything, MJ has won the Defensive Player of the Year award in 1988. LeBron hasn't won any. Michael Jordan has also made the All-Defensive First Team 9 times. LeBron has only made it 5 times while playing much longer than Jordan. And that's truly what amplifies Jordan's defensive numbers over LeBron's. He was able to do more in less time. And for those who say the defensive talent wasn't great back then, which is a casual take, I hope y'all realize players like Hakeem, Mark Eaton, Dennis Rodman, Michael Cooper, and Alvin Robinson was in the race as well. Some of the greatest defenders in NBA history. While steals are just a small part of defense, he did lead the entire NBA in steals 3 times and averaged more than 2 steals per game in 10 seasons, which is actually insane when you think about it. LeBron has never led the NBA in steals and has only averaged over 2 steals per game once in his career. Jordan simply has some of the best hands in NBA history. I think some forget that Jordan's hands are actually slightly bigger than Kawhi Leonard's. He was just physically built to be a lockdown defender. Just like Kawhi Leonard, Jordan's mind and large hands worked together at a high level. He knew when passes were coming and just put his large hands up in the passing lanes and was able to intercept or tip passes at a high rate. In terms of blocks, MJ pretty much averaged the same as LeBron while being shorter. Jordan had 2 seasons where he had 200 steals and 100 blocks. LeBron has 0. And like I said with steals, blocks are only a small part of defense, but when you literally have 2 seasons in which you averaged over 1.5 blocks per game as a guard, that's something you can't ignore. And y'all have to remember that MJ was playing every game. In both of the seasons he averaged 1.5 blocks, he played all 82 games, which makes the stat even crazier. He could rack up blocks in any scenario, in transition, on the ball, blocking a putback, or helping off the ball and catching someone by surprise. Jordan has finished in the top 5 of the Defensive Player of the Year race 6 times. LeBron only 5 times. Jordan has also finished top 10 in the race 9 times, while LeBron has only finished top 10 7 times. And again, it's important to remember that Jordan had a much shorter career than LeBron, so these numbers are even more impressive due to that. Jordan was just a more fundamentally sound defender. Over the last couple of months, I've been watching tons of Jordan's full games in 2013 LeBron James Heat games, and from an eye test standpoint, Jordan is just a better defender when it comes to overall impact on the opposing team's best scores. And no, it wasn't easier to defend players back then. Doing a bunch of dribble moves doesn't automatically mean you're a great one-on-one player. It's the qualities that matter. Being quick, deceptive, strong, and just being a great athlete is what makes you a great one-on-one scorer and ball handler, not the dribble moves. One of the most casual takes I hear way too often is that since players in the 90s wasn't doing all the fancy moves they are today, that automatically means they were easier to guard back then. And again, that literally doesn't make sense. You don't blow by a player due to any move. You get by players due to quickness and being deceptive, which all of the great ball handlers in the 90s were. For example, I could teach a 10-year-old Kyrie Irving dribble moves, and even if he learned those moves down packed, that 10-year-old still wouldn't get by me because he just isn't strong or quick enough. Hopefully y'all get my point. Fancy dribble moves doesn't mean you're a great one-on-one player. It's the qualities. All in all, I think this ends the LeBron versus Jordan debate. And before like a year ago, I had LeBron as the greatest player of all time. But after studying and watching Jordan's impact on defense, it was clear that he was the best player of all time. He was just more consistent and had a higher motor. He was a defensive first guy who just happened to be an incredible scorer as well. That's the perfect way to describe him. But if y'all want a part 2, let me know in the comments and I'll see y'all in the next one.